Hello, this is Stephen and Jennifer with Iowa Backyard Farmer coming to you today to talk about the different peppers that we have on our plant sale list this year.
And the sweet peppers particularly, I think we'll put the more spicy ones in a different video.
Yep. So let's start out with our snacking peppers. So we did a big snacking pepper trial this last year and ended up changing a few things that we have on our list. So thinking back to what we had this last year on the trial, what really stood out to you the most?
Well, the candy cane red was probably my favorite because it had this beautiful variegated foliage. We had it in pots by the back door. It was pretty, and then it was right there, and it was super sweet. The immature fruit is a little stripy, so that's kind of fun. But when it ripened to all the way red, it was delicious. It was delicious.
I honestly expected the taste to not be very good because usually if a breeder is selecting for something that looks really pretty, they kind of let the flavor go a little bit. And if it's really, really good flavor, then it's ho-hum for looks. But the candy cane red really stood out.
Yeah. And what did you call that? It was like a ornamentable or something.
Yeah, both ornamental and edible.
And edible.
Edible. Yeah, what she said. So that one was fantastic. So candy cane red. And then this year we brought onto our list, I think I'll call it a sister line. It's candy cane chocolate cherry, which has
the same variegation, the same striping, but maybe a different color.
Yeah, just a little bit different color. So it has more of a chocolate with the red. And so super excited about that. Love the flavor. Grew really, really well.
Of the snacking pepper, these candy cane ones are a little bit bigger, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'll say maybe, I don't know.
So they're about 3.5 inches. So
yeah.
they are bigger. They're way smaller than a normal bell pepper, but they are
they were really good.
They're about a 3-bite pepper, not a 1-bite pepper.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
they're totally worth it. I would do that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Next one on our list is Just Sweet Baby Bell. And this one we've brought in for the last 3 or 4 years. Tried to replace an old one that we used to grow that we couldn't really grow. But
we had one that had really bad germination issues. And this one came in and I was like, it's perfect. We keep it.
Yeah. And so Just Sweet, it's can grow from 1 to 3 inches, and it's kind of interesting looking at the plant because you can get some that are 3 inches, some that are just 1 inch. Looks kind of like a little baby bell, but super good flavor. In our trial last year, when we trialed all of the yellow and the orange and kind of the golden flavors all together, I thought, well, there's going to be just one that's a real standout, and the rest are going to be so-so. But this one was really, really good. But it didn't taste like any of the others.
Yeah, it's slightly different. It has more of a flavor than, because for the bells, I'm like, they're crunchy water, right? They're crunchy sweet water. This one also has a little bit of a cool flavor.
Just a little.
All of these have a little bit extra.
So I keep thinking, well, we'll narrow down our sale list, but this one was just unique enough that we kept it. So been super happy with that one. Probably the biggest purpose of our trial this last year was to see, can we replace that old Lunchbox series?
Yeah, we've grown that one for a long time, but it had some problems. The yellow one I like just as much as I like some of the other yellow ones, and the orange one's pretty good too. But the red one was always kind of half size smaller, and it wasn't.
The flavor is not up to par with the others.
Yeah, and so we trialed all these different varieties, and we liked everything we trialed. The Fresh Bite series was good. The Sweeties series was good. But the Delite series was our winner. They're a little bit bigger. They were uniformly, all of them were very delicious. So that would be Lemon Delite for the yellow,
and Orange Delite for the orange, and Ruby Delite is a really dark red.
Yeah, it had the prettiest color. So if I was thinking, because you eat with your eyes, I'm like, it was shiny, it was deep red, it presented well. It tasted really delicious. Yeah. It's just the right size.
Yeah. So if you've ever thought that, well, every small snacking pepper is a Lunchbox pepper, that's not the case. And if you're afraid of trying something that's not the Lunchbox, I would definitely go for the Delites. No issues there. And I, looked back, talked with the breeder, and they've got several more of the Delite series that are coming out this year, and
that we'll trial,
and we'll give those a try as well. So, but beyond the Delites, the last of our snacking peppers that we've included on our list this year is Yummy. And we've grown Yummy for probably as long as we've gardened.
Yeah. And if I'm out in the garden, this is one that I'm going to pick and just eat right in the garden. It is sweet. It is delicious. It's a little more orange than like the Just Sweet, but it's not as vibrantly orange probably as the Orange Delight. But it's delicious.
But the
it's
flavor
beautiful.
is still fabulous.
The flavor is good.
Yep. So that is it for what is on our sale list. So we'll try some of the other delights. Other ones that we're going to trial this year are one that's called, I think it's Hamik, Hamik.
Well, and I don't know about this one because Stephen went on his own little side quest and he's looking through things. And he's like, oh, and one of these.
I'll try one of these.
So tell me about Hamik.
So Hamik is just another one that will turn orange. It says it's 2 to 3 lobed, so probably kind of like the baby bells. And it just says it's on a compact plant. And so since we have grown some peppers in our green stock, it's nice to have some varieties that are not super long.
And all of these, we grew all of these in the green stock, and it is really nice to have that more compact thing for a pot or a green stock. Those are both good ideas. So Hamik?
Yeah. And then the other one that we're going to trial is called Pretty and Sweet, and that is a 2015 AAS winner. And the reason I was interested in bringing that one in is it's like an 18-inch tall plant. So a little bit more compact. Sounds like it looks good. It tastes good.
Maybe if I wanted to put it in like a hanging basket or in a pot on the porch, if I was working in a small garden space, maybe.
Yeah, so that's the thought. So if we really like it, maybe we'll add it to our list next year in a hanging basket, but we're not going to offer it until we've tried it.
Yep, that sounds good.
So
sounds good.
Next up after the snacking peppers are the bell peppers. And bell peppers seem to be kind of the king of the sweet pepper world, which is... surprises me a little bit.
Well, that's because you see it in the grocery store. As we have gotten more into peppers and we have gone on little side quests to find this and that, and you're probably eating more peppers than you realize in a dried form. But for just fresh eating, this is what you see in the grocery store. And so people are like, I like it. Let's grow it in my garden. Let's grow it in the garden.
Yeah. But flavor-wise, I think you've mentioned it's kind of like crispy water.
Crispy water. They don't have as much personality as some of the other ones, so we'll just cruise through these. A lot of people have trouble with these. They tend to be bigger, so they're going to require more time. If you were choosing between the two, the snack peppers are a little more satisfying. You get them earlier. They're smaller. They're bite size. If you're not cooking for a great big group, or if you just want to eat one by yourself, they're good. But bells.
Yeah.
Big bells.
So the first one on our list is California Wonder, and that one has been around for almost 100 years. Just a nice, generic green bell, but it produces for us. And so even this last year, we did a trial and not the best of locations. And at the beginning of the season, when we started harvest, I pulled 3 big California Wonders off of a plant. And I thought, man, that can't be California Wonder. They're huge. But they were, and so
so because we had tried a whole bunch of newer hybrids and some other things, and I think they all would have done well in the right location, but the California Wonder does pretty good most of the time.
Yeah. So key thing that we learned this last year is any shade is damaging to bell peppers. So
yeah, if you want it to ripen and be a beautiful color, do not put it under a tree.
Yep. So. California Wonder for a good heirloom green one. Next one on our list is Dragonfly, and this is one that we brought in this last year. It's a brand new 22 AAS winner, and the reason we brought it in is they claimed it was one of the first really thick-walled purple ones.
And I'm like, and we're going to eat the rainbow, right? I have one of every color of tomato, so I need one of every color of pepper. Little bit tricky on this one is that most peppers in our bell category, the immature fruit color is green.
Yeah.
And so you want to make sure you're putting little stakes in that says, this is going to be my green pepper, my yellow pepper, my red pepper, because you'll be like, oh, there's a green bell pepper, and you're going to pick it. And then you're going to call me and be like, I never got any red bells. I'm like, they all start green. They all start green, except this Dragonfly, which starts purple. And so you might be tempted. Somebody might be tempted to pick it before it's ready because it's purple. And then you'll bring it inside and it will be thin-walled and it won't be as sweet and juicy. So for this particular one, you're going to wait and it'll thicken up. It'll feel heavier.
Yeah.
It'll be nice and thick. If I'm pressing on the sides, it's not going to be like creak, 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 and you'll have better luck. So there's my advice on peppers.
But so if you want a purple one, that's a really good one.
Yeah, and it grew really beautifully.
Yeah, next one on our list is Early Sensation. And so that one claims to be the earliest yellow bell pepper, 70 days, which is much earlier than some of the others that we looked at.
Yeah, so again, all bell peppers will turn another color. So California Wonder will turn red eventually. If you leave it on there. But that's undesirable because you have to wait like, I don't know, 90 days for that. I don't know. It's a long time because you want to keep it in that green stage for a longer time. But Early Sensation is going to be yellow. And so what they've tried to figure out is, it's going to develop and it's going to be green and it's going to come to your full weight and ripeness, right? And then it's going to change that color. And so to have that happen faster is nice.
Yep.
Is nice.
Yep. And so it's a big, beautiful yellow one. So I'm pleased with that. Color, taste was fine. So love that one. Next one on our list is Emerald Giant. So back to an heirloom. This is a 1963 release.
It grows really well for us. It tastes really nice. People have selected for the green bells. They're not quite as fruity or as sweet as the yellow and orange ones, but the ones that are designated to be green, like Emerald Giant, California Wonder, have a really good flavor at that green stage. Again, it will go to red if you leave it on, but it's designed to be eaten green. Yeah,
and one of the reasons why we've kept, a 50-year-old green bell on our list is simply that it was designed and bred for heat. And what we have seen is when we have really hot summers, it outproduces the other bells that we have.
Yeah.
And so on a cooler summer, you would want to go for something else. But for really hot years, that's a really good one to go with.
That's always done really good for us.
Yeah. Next one is King of the North.
Okay, and this is going to be one that you're going to want to wait and eat at a red stage. So it's going to be green, and then it's going to go to red. This one does a little better in cooler temperatures. That's the King of the North part. So if you were in a cooler summer and you're like, I'm never going to get a red pepper because it takes forever and all this heat and sunshine.
Yeah.
King of the North will let you do that faster, better.
Yep. Shorter season, cooler season. That's the one to go with.
Yeah.
And that's even an older one. It's it's about 90 years old. So
yeah.
Been around for a while. Definitely proved its worth. So good to have that one. Next up on our list is Orange Blaze. And so Orange Blaze is kind of a funny one to put on a bell pepper, but it is a bell pepper.
It's just not a big lobe bell pepper that you'd buy at the grocery store. It's a little elongated. It's a little thinner. People are like, is this really what you meant? Yes, that's what it does. The flavor is really good, though, comparatively to these others. It's a little sweeter. It's got a little more personality.
Yeah. So, and we have received some of those phone calls. If you're expecting a big blocky bell, you won't get it. This one will be longer. It does typically have the lobes down at the bottom.
But it's really productive.
But it's really productive, really flavorful.
And I get them earlier. So yeah. I'm not waiting quite as long as I am for, because you're like, I'm going to grow this big pepper like this, and something smaller is a little faster.
Yeah. So super happy with that one. And then to round out our bell pepper category is a big blocky red one, just like you'd find in the store. In fact, some of them may be this one.
Yeah.
And that's Red Knight.
Yeah. And that one is really good. On a good year, that's going to be bigger than my King of the North by quite a bit. It's going to have nice thick walls. It's going to be really sweet, really crunchy. You get that crunchy, juicy, watery texture that you like in a bell pepper. And I like that one. It's grown really well for us.
Yeah. And it does have probably more disease resistance than any of the others that we have.
Yeah. So a lot of these that are heirlooms are not going to have the super disease resistance. I think Early Sensation and Red Knight, probably of those categories, maybe Orange Blaze, have the best disease resistance. If you were somewhere that was warmer, further south, there's some other options that probably work really well for you. But these have worked really well for us.
Yep. So for our trial varieties here in this bell pepper category, well, first of all, we trialed a whole bunch last year, but they ended up with about half of them were underneath a fruit tree, and they suffered from that lack of sun. So we'll trial some of the old ones again this next year. But in terms of new ones, we're going to look at this coming year that we've never seen before. We've got one called Chocolate Cake Bell.
I'm going to guess it's brown.
And it's brown.
Okay.
And
all the colors. Brown is not on the rainbow, but I suppose it could be good.
I'm really curious because we've never grown a brown one before, so
right.
we'll give that a try, and we will try one called Doe Hill, which is a golden yellow pumpkin shaped heirloom sweet pepper from the Doe Hill area of Virginia.
Okay.
So we'll try
Those
that
are
one.
Fun.
So moving on beyond bells to stuff that I honestly think is maybe more fun,
These
a
things
little
will
more
have
flavor.
a little more flavor, a little more personality. Some of them, again, are going to grow. I get more production off of them.
Yeah.
Just because the bells seem to be a little picky about production sometimes for me.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's very true. So first on that list is one I couldn't figure out, where do we put it? Is it a snacking pepper? Is it a normal sweet pepper? Where does it belong? And it's called Apple Crisp. And this is one that we tried last year, not in a sweet pepper trial, but in our paprika trial.
I know. We had ordered like every paprika pepper that exists, and we grew like, I don't know, 25 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And this one I thought was going to be really fantastic for that, but it was actually my favorite for eating fresh. It has the crunchiest, crispest texture, and it's sweet. It's very sweet.
A little hint of apple flavor in there.
It's just, that was really tremendously good. I would not eat the seeds. They tend to be a little bit bitter, and in the right conditions, it could maybe have a little bit of zing to it, maybe a little spice, but nothing big.
And that's what the description says. But I mean, so last year I would just eat them off the plant, and they're just a little 2-inch or so, kind of a roundish one, not far different from a really small apple. And I mean, literally just go out and eat it, and just like an apple, you don't eat the core normally.
You just eat all the way around
and
the outside.
Just eat all the way around to the seeds, and toss the seeds and stem out into the garden somewhere. And I never ran into any heat, and so we'll see.
We keep our stuff on a water timer, so we're not ever like super hot.
So anyway, that was super good. One I would have never expected that would end up on this list, but they were really good.
They were really good.
Next one on this random sweet pepper category is one we never did look up. How do you pronounce that? Lesya is how I say it. Lesya is how you say it. So if you know how to say it, let us know. But it's Lesya, and it's kind of a red heart-shaped pepper.
Yeah, and it's got really, really thick walls. So, if you were looking for a nice meaty pepper, it's nice and thick. It does take a lot longer to get to that point than even our bells do.
Yeah.
But it has a really good sweet flavor. It's a really nice flavor.
Yeah, flavor, and I really like the crunch of them as well. A lot of people online are saying, well, if you like bell peppers, you'll like this one even better, and you'll never want to grow another bell pepper. I don't know that I'd go that far.
No, it doesn't have the same disease resistance. We did run into some problems with it, because anytime you're growing a red pepper, and this one I think takes 90 days to get there, that is a long time for something else to decide to not eat it, or something else to not happen to it. And so we didn't end up with all perfect fruit off of this, because some of them get damaged, or one of them's going to be sun scalded. Somebody decided to eat this one,
So,
but what we did get was delicious.
Yeah, and there was kind of a sister line that was orange that we tried, and that one was awful for disease resistance.
Yeah, it didn't have disease resistance.
The red one that we have on our list, it was okay, but not as great as some of the others. So,
but the flavor is really good, and I like the shape is fun, and the thick walls and the texture.
Yep. So next up, let's talk about kind of those. Was it the bullhorn category?
They're long, and they've got kind of a pointy end to them. Yeah.
So there's several in that general category. I think the Marconis would fit into this in general. But the first one we've got on our list is Cornito
Giallo. Cornito Giallo.
So spell the name down here.
Put the name up. And this one is really very good. Why did you put this one on the list?
So there's a couple of different sizes. So when we get to these type, you can think of the sweet, the snacking peppers. Then you go for a little bit bigger. Then we've got some, for example, the Marconi Golden Big Daddy. That thing can get 8 to 10 inches. So it can be really a big pepper.
And I love that one.
And it's fantastic. But I thought, not everybody's going to want to snack on a 12-inch long pepper.
Well, and again, the bigger it is, and the more tempting that is. We had I don't know where the little ground squirrels or something.
Yeah, we had squinnies a couple of years ago.
And they they would come into my garden and they would chew the ends off of all of those, and I was so mad. I was so mad. Anyway, so these are a little bit shorter. Maybe they're a little faster.
Yep. So for the Giallos, that gets to about 5 inches. So if you're looking for something that's not a snacking size pepper, but a really good, just overall sweet one,
and it's going to have and you have again that little bit more personality than you're getting with just a straight bell.
Yeah. Yep. So. And we are trialing some of the other colors of that one. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But super excited about that one. I think that'll be a really good one that people will enjoy.
Yeah. And due to space constraints, we chose between our two Marconis. We had grown the original red Marconi for a lot of years because that's the old heirloom. It is a bugger to get going. It is slow. It is hard to germinate. And we ran out of patience for that one. And then we had grown 2 of them together for a lot of years. And we have grown Carmen, which is a beautiful red Marconi, and Costa Rican Sweet, which is, again, a beautiful red Marconi. We took one off this year. Both of them are fantastic. So we stuck
that with the Costa Rican Sweet. That one, the plant structure is amazing, the flavor is amazing, and the production has been amazing. And so stuck with that one. So about 6 inches long. But
it was a hard choice. You could go either way.
Yeah, there's some really good options out there. And so, we're saying that our Costa Rican Sweet's going to replace Carmen, and even the lipstick pepper that we never knew where to put it in the past.
Yeah, that's a nice sweet one. I pick this category if I'm so we have this bag here. These are all dried sweet peppers. We'll grow so many peppers that we run into a what do I do with it kind of scenario. And so I dry a lot of them, but while I'm cleaning them all out and getting them ready to go, those are the ones I'm eating.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I'm eating.
Yeah. So they're fantastic.
That one, and our next one, which is the Marconi Golden Big Daddy.
And that's the big one.
That's the big one.
That's the big one.
But
flavor is amazing.
I tell you, the flavor is really good on those, and those don't usually get dried because I'm already eating them.
Yeah. And then the last one on our sweet pepper list is Tennessee cheese. So this one's entirely different than some of the others. So describe Tennessee cheese.
Well, it kind of is like, what did you say about the other one? It's like a little pumpkin shape. It's round and a little bit lobe. It's a lot smaller, but the flavor on it, fresh, was fantastic.
Yeah, so we had grown that last year as it was recommended as a potential paprika pepper. And for paprika, it was okay, kind of average. But when we tried it sweet, oh wow, it was really, really crunchy, very thick-walled. Love the flavor.
It would make a really good stuffing pepper.
Yeah.
Especially if you were trying to do one that was like personal size. So like if you could stuff a great big bell, but you're like, it's a big dinner. This is a really nice one. You can eat it fresh. If you wanted to use it for paprika, it's okay. It's not the strongest flavor. But it was really pretty good, and it was very productive in that category. So again, if you're like, I want a nice red pepper that's sweet, that's fresh to eat, but maybe I don't want to get like 4 of them a year because more than the bells, this would be a fun one.
Yeah. So
are we trying anything new
What are we trying this year? So we mentioned the Cornito, what was that called? Cornito
Giallo.
Cornito
Giallo.
So we'll try the red one, which is Cornito Rossa, and the orange one, which is
Cornito Arancia.
Yep, Arancia. And let's see, I think that's it for that category. We've got, so now let's turn the page a little bit and go for our sweet peppers that maybe have just a tiny bit of zing potentially. I call them zing. Mild. They're not like super duper sweet, but anyway, let's go through those now.
Okay.
So one that we have been requested to add for multiple years, and we finally brought it in and absolutely loved it, was
the Azealio Thin Skin Italian. And those were pretty. They're like a bell. They're not as thick of walls.
Yep.
They've kind of got a wrinkly appearance to them. Not wrinkly, but like it's not as smooth.
It's not as smooth as some of the others. It's a little more lobe. But
yeah, but
anyway,
they're gorgeous. They're beautiful. They have the potential to have how much spice?
Well, maybe up to 1,000 SHU. We never got that, but that's what the description says.
But it has potential. If you keep it well watered, I would guess you would never notice.
Yeah. So that one, if you're in central Iowa, was donated to Seed Savers Exchange in 2015 by a family here in Des Moines. So
that's cool.
So it's got some local connections there.
Yeah.
And really, really enjoyed that one.
And we get frequent customer requests for that one just because they know about it, and it's pretty delicious.
Yeah. Next one up is one that's been highly recommended to us, the Jimmy Nardello.
Yeah. And we grew this one last year, and people really enjoy this one. It's long. It sort of looks like it might be a hot pepper, but it's a sweet pepper.
But it's sweet, yeah.
What would you say on the flavor of this? Because some people are like, this is the sweetest thing, and you're like, this is the best pepper ever. You don't need any other peppers. What was your take?
From my experience, I wouldn't call it the sweetest bell, or as sweet as some of our other sweet peppers. I think the flavor was just fine.
Yep.
But because of that, we only grew one plant, and it was not too far from a fruit tree, so maybe it didn't get all the sun that it could have. But I thought it was fine. But we will keep it on our list, and we'll trial some others
when we have it some competition. Similar. We'll do that in a minute.
Yep.
So what else we have in this?
So other ones that don't have really hardly any heat would be like the pepperoncini.
Yep, a Greek pepperoncini.
Yep.
So what we have on the list, and it's mildly spicy. We pickled that one. You'll see that one pickled.
Yep. So enjoy that one. Shishito Mellow Star. So if you like shishito peppers, the Mellow Star is a bigger version of a shishito pepper. So
you have just the regular, like, I don't know, old heirloom, no name thing.
Yep.
And then this one was Mellow Star. And we're going to try another one of those too, I think.
Was that Takara was one that we've tried in the past. You can try that one again. So if you've never had a shishito pepper,
they're good fried.
Fry them up and give them a try. They're delicious. And then the last one that doesn't have really any heat is the sweet banana pepper.
Yeah, so we use the Sweet Banana Goddess is the variety we like. It is big, beautiful, beautiful peppers. They're not going to be as sweet flavored as like a sweet snacking pepper, but there's not any spice to it really.
Yeah.
So it's just a really mild, good flavor. Again, I use this one for pickling, make little banana pepper rings.
If you like the little yellow pepper rings at like Subway.
Yeah, this would be a mild version of that.
That would be a mild version of that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that wraps up what is on our sale list. The only ones that we have added to our trial list right now are Corbaci.
Yep, sort of like the Jimmy Darndello, where you're long skin, thin, skinny.
Yep. So that comes highly recommended. And then one, you'll have to see if you can pronounce it because I don't think I can.
I don't know what you put on the list. The Doe Hill.
Yep.
Doe Hill. What do I know about that one?
So that comes from the southwest corner of France and translates into English as sweet pepper from the land. so anyway,
it'll be beautiful.
It's another one that looks a lot like the Jimmy Nardello. So we'll have the three that are fairly similar that we will trial and see what we think, see which one wins.
Yep, that'll be fun.
So
all right,
I'm curious if there's anything from a snacking pepper or a bell pepper or any other kind of sweet pepper or super duper mild that
we've missed a lot, right? There's so much more that could be there.
Yeah, but if there's anything you recommend, put it down in the comments and let us know. And until then, we will talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.